awesome. I'm really, really excited to be here. My name is Abby, for those of you who do not know me. I'm one of the leaders with Haley for the sophomore girls. Yeah. We have a few, only 3 of them are here, so hurts my feelings a little bit, but it's okay. So, we are here to talk about tragedy. We're on week 2 of Through the Darkness, and last week Ryan talked to you guys about how tragedy is really more a matter of when and not so much a matter of if. Because everybody goes through the darkness. Everybody experiences tragedy. And he kind of talked about how tragedy either affects you or someone else. And I kind of will have a picture for you guys that I want you to close your eyes and imagine if you want to close your eyes. So, you've all seen a lake that's like totally still, and then someone like chucks a giant rock in it, and you're like, oh, that's annoying, it was really pretty. But that looks a lot like what tragedy looks like. So when the rock hits, that's a lot like tragedy hitting. There's a group of people who are directly impacted by that tragedy, right? Like your friend, or maybe it's a whole family, or maybe it's your teacher, or whatever it is. But then if you're friends with that person, you kind of get stuck in the ripples that come out after that rock hits. And so tonight I'm going to talk to you guys about what it's like being a friend in the ripples of someone else's tragedy and how to be a friend through other people's darkness. So I'm going to start with a short story about my life when I was in high school. I had this friend who had a really terrible breakup right before his senior year of high school. Okay? He was totally devastated, and I was like, I'm going to fix everything, because I am a fixer. As a friend, we want to fix things. I was like, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to take him to lunch. I'm going to take him to Brio. Okay, that's expensive. I was like, this is going to fix it. I just know if I buy him a good lunch, everything will be fine. So we got there. We're talking about school, the school coming up. He's going to be a senior. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I wish I was a senior. And then he was kind of like, so what happened was, and I kind of freaked out because I didn't really want to know what had happened, because I was like, what if he tells me what happened? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know what to say. And then I say the wrong thing, or I say something that makes it worse. Or what if, even the worst possible, he gets mad at me? What if I do something that makes his pain even worse? And guys, that's because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do, and that is because it's really hard to know what to do when other people are going through the darkness. And there's usually 3 things that we do when someone else goes through a tragedy. We act normal. Yay, everything's fine. Nobody feels normal, nobody's acting normal, but you're gonna try your best to do it so that everything will go back to the way that it was. The second thing that we do is we talk. And I'm like really good at doing that. I'm like, oh, if I can just say the right thing, I'm gonna send them this quote from this book that I read, and it's gonna revolutionize their problem. It's gonna change their whole perspective. But guys, like, even if we have the right thing to say, someone who's in pain doesn't always need a lot of words. You know what I mean? Like, you can have the best thing to say, and it's not gonna change what they're going through. And the last thing we did, which is kind of what I was trying to do at this lunch with my friend, was just avoid it. Like, okay, if I just avoid it, then I don't even have to be a part of the darkness. I don't have to be in the middle of it. I don't have to fix anything. But guys, we don't need to fix anything, okay? And I'm going to tell you why and show you a story from the Bible in the book of Ruth about why we just need to be their friend. We don't need to fix anything. So, to tell this story, I'm going to ask you to go back to like elementary school with me. And I need 3 girls and 3 boys who want to come stand on stage for a minute. Peyton. Oh, this is not going well.
Abby, how are you?
Girls. Oh, Mary. I need one more girl. Oh, I can't see you, but come on up if you're a girl. Come here. Sure. And I need 3 boys. Zach, Logan, and I can't. Okay. All right, sweet. Okay. So I forgot my tape, so this is going well. But this is Bethlehem over here. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna try not to fall off the stage. That's Bethlehem's over there. Thanks, Ryan. This is Moab. What a cool name. I almost fell off the stage at Boom when I tried to hang that up. All right, so you look like a Naomi type. You can be Naomi. Peyton, you can be Ruth. Yadira, is that your name? Yes. Okay. You can be Orpah, not Oprah. Orpah, that's her name. And husband, you look like you'd be a good husband. Son, oh, I didn't mean that like in a weird way. Son, you can pick. We got 2 sons. Okay. So, we're going to set up this story, okay? So, Naomi, you're going to go over to Bethlehem with your husband and your 2 sons. You guys aren't in the story yet. You can go to Moab. Ooh, she stole her man. Okay, so these guys are in Moab. We don't care about them yet, but they are going to come into play because it's the book of Ruth, so clearly. Ruth is going to play a big role in this story. Okay, so Naomi is living in Bethlehem with her husband and her 2 sons, and life is great until it's not. And there's no food. There's no food in Bethlehem. They're starving, people are dying, and they're like, okay, well, if we want to live, we should probably leave Bethlehem. So they're like, okay, we are going to go to Moab because they have food in Moab. So go ahead and go to Moab. Yay, look at this happy family. Don't mind my table. Okay, so as soon as they get their husband, this is a great family. Come here. Look at these 2. This is good. Okay, well, first tragedy of the story is that as soon as they get to Moab, Naomi's husband dies. I'm so sorry. You can go sit down. You did a great job being a husband for 30 seconds. Good job. Okay, so the husband is dead. Okay, so Naomi's there now with just her 2 sons. They're very sad. You know, their dad passed away. Her husband's dead. It's awful. Okay, well, son number 1 gets married to Orpah. Yay! This is where she comes in. And son number 2, you get married to Ruth. Get over here. You're married. Yay! Look at this. So now we have another family. Yay! You guys probably have all kinds of weird things you're saying because you know these people. Just relax. It's just a story. Okay. So we have a new family. Naomi is still husbandless. Orpah and son number 1 are married. Ruth and son number 2. I tried not to give them too much of an identity because unfortunately 10 years later you also died. Both of you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. Life was just rough back in those times, okay? So now, Naomi and her 2 daughter-in-laws, they're all widows, okay? They're all widows. But not only did Naomi lose her husband, she also lost her 2 sons, okay? So Naomi is going through a serious darkness, okay? Not that they're not, but Naomi's like, really, 10 years ago I lost my husband, now both my kids, not even one, both, like really, this is terrible. So, they're like, okay, this is awful. And then, even worse news, now there's no more food in Moab, okay? So now there's no food in Moab, but Naomi's like, wait a second, I heard from someone that there is food back in Bethlehem where I came from. But Naomi was I'm sure, she was a little nervous to go back where she moved from with her family, because now none of them are with her anymore, just their widows, well, wives, but they're dead. So it's sad, okay? So they're going back, come here, come about right halfway to Bethlehem. Look at this, halfway there. And Naomi tells Ruth and Orpah to abandon her, okay? She tells them to leave because she doesn't think that them having to take care of her is going to get her either of them any farther in their lives. I just hit myself in the face with this microphone. Yeah, I'm great. So, Naomi's like, leave me, okay? And you're going to go on, get remarried, have children, forget about me, okay? Now, Orpah, I'm so sorry. You didn't know really any better, but you were like, bye. So you left, okay? So you can leave. You left. But Ruth was really smart, okay? Ruth was like, Naomi doesn't really want me to leave. Naomi's just in a lot of pain, and she has no idea what she really wants. She doesn't really know what she needs because she's in so much pain. So, don't go all the way to Bethlehem, but I'm going to put a Bible verse up. Okay. So, when Naomi told them to leave, Orpah left, and then Ruth said, don't urge me to leave you or turn back from you. Don't ask me to leave. Don't ask me to walk away. And then she says, where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. And that's from Ruth 1:16. You guys can stand back up. So Ruth was like, I'm not going anywhere. Orpah might have left, but like, you're not getting rid of me. I'm staying with you, because Ruth was wise beyond her years, and she knew that that's not what Naomi needed. So this did not fix Naomi's problem, guys. This didn't make her feel better and be like, oh yay, all my problems are solved because Ruth stayed with me. She actually got sadder, and she started calling herself Mara, which means bitter. For you Maras out there. Muriel?
Hey.
Bitter. You're bitter.
Hey.
That's what it means, guys. She was like, God has given me a bitter life. Just call me Mara. Don't even call me Naomi anymore. So they make their way back to Bethlehem. Look at this. They finally made it. And the people of Bethlehem who were there before Naomi left did not recognize her. Not only because she was not calling herself Naomi anymore, she was calling herself Mara, but she also looked different and she sounded different. That's what the Bible says. Her pain had like physically changed who she was, okay? So she has gone through like the worst of the worst, but her story doesn't end there. That's why this is so cool. What happens is Ruth, down the line, not immediately, gets remarried, okay? Yay, it's good, just wait. And she has a baby, okay? She has a baby, and because Naomi has kind of become a lot like Ruth's mom, don't forget, she was married to her son, okay? They have formed this relationship, and so when Ruth has a baby, Naomi feels like, oh my gosh, like I have a grandson. Like she feels like the baby is like her grandson. And the women of Bethlehem, after Ruth had her baby, noticed a change in Naomi. You don't have to be Mara anymore. You're happy. Yay! She's not Mara. I'll take it. Hallelujah. Okay. So then what happened is the women of the town were so excited that Naomi wasn't so sad anymore. She had found purpose and joy in her life again. And they said, praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a guardian redeemer. The guardian redeemer being her grandson, which was just Ruth's baby, but like her grandson. May he become famous throughout Israel. Famous! He made her so happy, he should be famous. That's pretty cool. He will renew your life and sustain you in your old age. For your daughter-in-law, Ruth, who loves you more than 7 sons, has given him birth. Ruth 4:14 through 15. So guys, Ruth helped Naomi. But notice, did Ruth try to fix Naomi's problem? No, she didn't. She stayed, guys. She stayed with Naomi. Because when it comes to tragedy, you need to be a friend, not a fixer. You don't need to try to fix everything. You guys can sit down. Thank you so much, everyone who performed. It was great. Thank you so much. So, like, you need to be a friend, not a fixer. Ruth wasn't like, Naomi, you just need to trust God. Like, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. Like, we're going to get to Bethlehem, and as soon as you get food, everything will be fine. Because we don't know how to be friends through darkness when we get uncomfortable, right? So I'm going to show you guys 4 ways of how you can be a friend to someone who's going through darkness, okay? Number 1, be there for them. This is like the easiest one to do, okay? Because all you have to do is show up. Text them, call them, write them a note, give them a ride home, whatever it is. Just be there, show up. Love them. Encourage them. Tell them that they're awesome. Ask them what they need, you know, like, you're going to do great. You're going to ace that math test. Whatever it is that is going to help you love your friends, you need to do that. The 3rd thing you need to do is be patient. And this is a really hard thing to do, you guys, because a lot of times people take a lot longer to heal than you think that they will, right? You're like, oh my gosh, get over it. She broke up with you 4 months ago. Like, that's not going to help, okay? You need to be patient. Everyone takes a different amount of time to heal. And the 4th thing that we can do is listen. Because when someone's in pain, they just need someone to listen. And making yourself available makes a world of difference. And listening to someone can totally change how they heal. They can heal a lot faster with you than without you if you do these 4 things. And guys, we know this because we just saw it in the Bible. But we also know this because, well, I know this, because of my own story, okay? So I'm going to share with you a story about my life and how I had a friend through the darkest moment of my entire life, okay? So when I was in the 5th grade, my dad got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, which is like, there's only 4 stages. It's the worst stage that there is. They gave him like 6 months to live. I didn't really know what was going on. I mean, I was 10, okay? So I'm like, all right, whatever, I'm living with this. So he lived a lot longer than they thought that he would. But then in October of my 7th grade year, I was halfway through middle school, my dad passed away. And it was terrible. It was like, literally, I hope none of you have had to experience the pain of losing a parent. It is the hardest thing that you will ever go through. And like, you can't really comprehend what's going on, and you're like trying to talk to your friends, but you're 12, and they're like, I have no idea what to say to you, because you're in middle school. Well, now you're all in high school. I'm not at them. So it's like, you don't even know how to respond in high school if someone lost their friend, or lost their parent. It's such a hard thing to do. But I remember after he passed away, I didn't come to school for like a week, even though I really wanted to go back because I just wanted everything to go back to normal. And my mom was like, you just need to stay home, you need to heal, you need some time. If you break down at school, it's not gonna be good. You need a week, just take a week. So then when I got back, this girl who I knew, we were friends, we sat together at lunch sometimes, but she had coordinated with my whole 7th grade team. I was on 7A. She got my whole team to make these giant cards for me when I got back. And they all said things like, we missed you, we love you, I can't believe that this happened. Like, they were all so, so kind. And I didn't even know it was something that I needed. I didn't even know that my team knew what had happened. Like, I was so in the dark about what everyone at school knew that coming back and like having that gift waiting for me was like so, so cool. I was like a little embarrassed because I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody knows now. Everybody's gonna feel sorry for me. Everyone's not gonna know what to say. Nobody's gonna talk to me, right? And then this girl, her name was Nikki, not your Nikki, love her though, but my Nikki, she was just like out of nowhere, took on the responsibility of helping me through my darkness. And she became my best friend. She invited me to go to high school football games with her. She invited me to Friday night meltdown. I had sleepovers at her house. We walked to Starbucks after school. And like, she became my best friend. And she was super, super shy, guys. Like, she could have totally just been like, oh, that sucks. She lost her dad. And like moved on with her life. She did not know me enough to like take on the responsibility of helping me in any way. But I don't even know if she knew what she was doing until now. Like, I don't think she understands that she was doing something so important in my life, you guys. And the thing is that Nikki never tried to fix anything. She was just there. She never gave me advice. She never told me everything was gonna be okay. She didn't ever really even ask me about my dad until one night we were at dinner with her mom, and her mom kind of casually, I don't know how it slid in the conversation, but it was like, if you ever need to talk about anything, like, you can talk to us. You can talk to me. If you don't want to talk to your mom, you can talk to me. Because the last thing I do is wanted to talk to my mom. I was like, she's devastated. How is me saying I am also sad going to fix anything? She's already going through a terrible time. My brother had no idea what was going on. He was only 9. Like, it was just the worst thing. And so having someone be available to me was a huge, huge deal. And I just want to emphasize that she was not trying to fix anything. She was just there for me, guys. And then I ended up getting to be there for her when she went through a super dark moment, when she was in high school and her dad passed away. Like, it was so weird that I then got to be her friend because she was a friend to me. I knew how to be a friend to her. So I just want to encourage you guys to be there, love your friends, be patient and listen, because it's really hard to go through darkness, but it is also hard to go through the darkness with someone. So try your best to follow these 4 things when you're next to someone who's going through a hard time. Make yourself available, and I'm going to pray for you guys, and then we're going to go to small group. Hey God, thank you so much for bringing all of these students here tonight. It was a great turnout, and I know you had your hand in that. And I just pray that someone in this room is able to take this message and use it and help their friend that's going through a dark time and make a difference in someone's life. And I pray that they have really awesome small group conversations, they all get home safe, and that we see them next week for senior night.